Around North, they protect that football field. That's kind of like a sanctuary, because when football games are going on, they want to be safe. If you have people that's getting murdered at the field or around the corner or whatever, I mean, North would literally die because no fans would want to come to the game. So the community, in some aspects, protect their own.
It really needs a village, you know what I'm saying, of people that, like men, like Rick and OA, you know what I'm saying? They probably don't look at it like they fathers, but y'all are fathers in your own way to these boys. Y'all saving them, even if it's a small piece of their day. You know what I'm saying? You saving them some way, and you know what I'm saying, that they're gonna look at life different.
That is a scene from the new 4-part docuseries Boys in Blue. The Showtime series follows a high school football team in North Minneapolis where mostly black student athletes are coached and mentored by members of the Minneapolis Police Department. The series was filmed in 2021 as the players come of age in the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd. Boys in Blue shows how the officers and students find common ground on the field, establishing a safe harbor from the violence and civil unrest of their community. Showtime partnered with Paramount Global to donate $300,000 to the high school, establishing a multi-year scholarship program. Joining us now, acclaimed director, producer, writer, and actor Pete Berg. He's the director and executive producer of this docuseries, the finale of which airs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Showtime. All episodes also are available to stream. Pete, good morning. Thanks for being with us. This is an extraordinary story that most people watching this show, certainly me, were not aware of until you shot this doc. Tell us about the high school and how this partnership came to be.
So a long time ago, I went to college in the Twin Cities, in St. Paul, sister city to Minneapolis. And I had very fond memories of my time spent living in the Twin Cities. And when George Floyd was murdered, I was, horrified and deeply saddened and shocked by what I saw. And I was sort of extra confused that it happened in the Twin Cities, where I had just much different memories of, and I had memories of them being just a very friendly, inclusive place. I used to go see Prince, who was just coming up, play these late night shows at a club, First Avenue, and they were just very, very fond, happy memories. And I was just very confused by the Floyd murder, and I wanted to make some kind of creative response. I didn't know what to do. And I read an article in the New York Times about a high school program in Minneapolis North, very good high school program that was coached by Minneapolis police officers, many of whom worked with Derek Chauvin. And I read this article, and it seemed to me that something kind of special and unique was happening in this community. I wanted to see what was up, went out there and started meeting everyone, and we filmed an entire season.
So, Pete, as you say, the coaches were already there coaching the team before the murder of George Floyd. What was it like after his murder? How did the relationship between the players and these coaches change? Did it strengthen? Was there skepticism between them? What did that look like?
I don't know that it changed. I think it was really strong and very, there was just so much love in that community. I think prior to the Floyd killing, we experienced that, intensely while we were there. One of the things that we noticed was that this community was really more than anything else just trying to live. Parents were trying to coach, kids were trying to go to school, parents were trying to parent. It was just so unique that this community happened to be in ground zero in this kind of firestorm that happened globally after the Floyd killing. We found families, teachers, coaches just trying to live. And that proved to be very challenging, for many of those folks, including the quarterback of the high school, who we filmed the entire season, Deshaun Hill, who was murdered about 3 weeks before we stopped filming.
Oh, my gosh.
Pete, this is Al Sharpton. I spent some time, obviously, around the Floyd case in Minnesota. And one of the things that your documentary strikes me as is it dispels a lot of people think that young people, particularly in the black community, are just anti-police. and that's not true. I think that that a lot of people just deal with life as they can deal with it, and just don't want to be victimized by criminals or cops. Did you find these young high school students did not have this perceived anti-police, anti-law enforcement feeling, and that were very receptive to being coached and trained by them?
Absolutely, you know, but I would also say they weren't naive. You know, all of the young men and everyone in that community was very aware that there, yes, are problems with policing. I mean, you were just talking about one before I came on. These are very real problems. But there are examples, many examples of where law enforcement and the communities actually get along quite well, and the system works quite well. And that really goes to, like, it sounds cliched and simple, but community policing. What we observed in Minneapolis North was community policing at its very best. These officers live in the community, they know the families, they coach the kids, and everyone has a very healthy relationship with each other. And we found very, very strong bonds between cops and these kids. That's just real. It was there, we saw it. We filmed it, and it's quite real.
And it's such a great series, and it breaks through a lot of the cliches and the things, the narratives about the relationship between police and their communities, and just a special group of kids and coaches there. The finale of Boys in Blue airs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Showtime. And as I mentioned, the entire series is available to stream. Well worth your time. Director, executive producer, Pete Berg. Pete, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.